Last night, I felt like a kid right before the first day of school. You know, when you lay out all your clothes and you think about what you're going to say and how you're going to greet your friends that you haven't seen the entire summer. That's how I felt.
It really was that. Back from vacation, honestly.
I haven't been in this studio for a month.
True.
The listeners haven't heard our voices in a month. And you know what? I'm here to tell you guys, y'all thought we were dead, but we're back.
Y'all thought I was finished?
We're back on your ass. Another podcast for the people. Yes, you already know what it is. Starting fresh in 2025, it's the Mayor's Office podcast, baby.
That sounds great.
The sound effects sound crisp. The gentlemen are even better.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do this podcast by myself. I do it with two other spectacular individuals who are able to cross over into the new year fresh and clean. You would think Outkast sang the song.
Mm-hmm.
First, the owner of 1990s Studios, the legend, the man that I said at the live show is invited to any cookout that I will ever run. Talk to him.
Ooh, buddy, I'm gonna hold you to that. And we're back, baby. New year, same me, but 2025, ready to take over with the Mayor's Office podcast. And I'm getting my feet back after the holidays, but I'm fired up to be in the room with you fellas and take on the new year, man. Big ups to everybody. I hope everyone had a good little holiday season, good little new year, and I'm excited, man. Back in action, baby.
I'm excited for you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Business is going well. Pods are in here. But I don't know. Just the feeling of this pod must just feel a little bit different. And I'm going to tell you about different right now. I'm going to tell you about a man that's different. He embodies the word different. A lot of you lame niggas out there trying to interview people. A lot of you whack niggas out there trying to connect with people. You know the word networking? He embodies the word networking.
Wow, that's big talk.
He embodies the word vision. Because even a blind man can see this nigga come and talk to him.
Ooh, 2025 bars from the mayor. Man, it feels good to be back. I want to say thank you to everyone again for coming to our live show. We ended off the year right with that one, but it doesn't feel right saying 2025 yet. I'm still getting used to it. It does feel like it's almost like 2024 Deluxe in a sense, but it feels good, man. It feels good. New year, same us, and like we said, in the building.
Yeah. We're in the building, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to do but continue the content for the people. And we appreciate you guys. Episode 68, let's get into it. I want to wish everybody a good day. Actually, scratch that. I got a question for you, Chris.
Ooh, yes, sir.
You're a man that lives within his means, enjoys himself and the money he makes. But what would you do if I gave you $1.5 million?
Whoa, if you made $1.5 million?
That's such an exact number.
Yeah, that's very, very precise. What would I do? I don't know. You might not see me again, buddy. I might be moving real different, out of country. I might never come back. I might be down in Texas, no tax, spending, investing in real estate.
Trying to extend that 1.5.
I'm extended. You know what?
Texas Edwards.
Buddy, the parlays that could be ran with that type of bankroll.
That's good.
Friend.
So you do some parlays, maybe some investments, go to Texas. Okay, cool. Adriel, what would you do at $1.5 million?
I would honestly feed the hungry and homeless.
Oh,
I think there are some people that need it more than me. So, of course, I'm just here to help. Okay, 2025, we're just trying to help the less fortunate.
Damn, make me feel bad with that one, man. Damn, I might have to rethink what I said.
But that's okay. There's so many different things that you can do with that money. It's $1.5 million, am I right?
Yeah.
Essentially, you can do both of those things with that money.
Yes.
You could.
Yeah.
I didn't get into my part yet. I probably had
You were going to get to it at some point,
Buddy.
Chris. Yeah.
And I was going to get to my parlays.
Exactly. You guys just met each other at different points, but same destination. That's absolutely fine. What would I do with $1.5 million? A lot of things. I'll tell you what I wouldn't do with $1.5 million.
What?
I wouldn't try to sleep with Joy Taylor's hairstylist.
Oh.
I'll tell you that much.
Not ideal.
Not ideal.
If you know, you know.
A lot of messiness going on at Fox right now, and I'm here to let you guys know we're a safe, inclusive workspace
Yes.
here. It's on this podcast.
Yeah, no hairstylists in here. You know,
not getting us to the podium anytime soon.
Facts. Adriel, 1968.
Mhm.
The people want to know what happened in 1968.
I did some digging because I know you said you wanted some black facts. And when I think 68, if you guys know, there's something big that happened in this year that we're obviously going to get to. But before I do that, I wanted to read kind of this paragraph they had about 68. It's from history.com. They said 1968 remains one of the most tumultuous single years in history, marked by historic achievements, shocking assassinations, and a much-hated war, and a spirit of rebellion.
We got it popping in 1968.
So 1968 is a lot going on. A lot going on.
Okay.
And I want to set the tone of the Vietnam War because there's a lot of protests I'm going to mention. But Vietnam War, they were in Vietnam since 55, but 64 is when they passed a resolution that Lyndon Johnson, the president at the time, could increase military presence without a declaration of war.
Mhm.
So he does at any
There's a lot of that going on.
yeah, basically. So at any point he could just send over more troops. That was when the draft was going on. So, people didn't like that. And by the end of 68, they had sent over 500,000 troops into Vietnam. And in 64, it was a little over 100,000. So people were obviously getting pissed because they didn't feel they should be in Vietnam. You're sending more troops by the day. So that was kind of the temperature of what was going on at that time. In February, of course, there was a protest, like I just mentioned. And, in South Carolina, and police officers got involved. 3 students killed, 27 injured. And this is the first student killing by law enforcement in the United States. So obviously
On record.
That's why I mentioned it. On record, of course, but obviously these things happen now. But when you think back to it, 1968 is when it was officially happening for the first time. We got some good black facts.
Ooh.
Okay. Jimi Hendrix in March was named the most spectacular guitarist in the world by Life magazine. This is a throwback because 1, who reads magazines anymore?
true.
2, when's the last time you heard of Life magazine?
You guys have magazines in your house?
I still have a bunch of magazines from like when I had a lot of magazines.
Okay.
I kept a lot of them, but new magazines, no.
You don't have the latest cover of Slam.
No.
No.
But it is funny. I was looking through my old magazines over the break and seeing some of the covers. The LeBron on the cover of GQ with like one of those crowns from Kanye's Yeezus era. And I said, they really got this off. They really got this off. Planet of the Apes, worldwide premiere, U.S. premiere in April of 68. It's funny to see because now I feel like there's a Planet of the Apes every year.
Yeah.
And those apes are doing a lot more than
In
ever.
advance.
We got Planet of the Apes, 1968. This is the big event that I talked about. You said you want some black facts. This is some sad black facts.
Oh.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated while he was standing on his balcony outside in Memphis. It sparked dozens of riots in cities across the country. An international manhunt for his shooter.
That might be one of the saddest black facts.
Yeah, it doesn't get sadder than that. James Earl Ray was his killer. He got captured in London. The fact he made it all the way to London is pretty crazy. And not London, Ontario.
Quote unquote, it was him. I still think it was the FBI, but we can talk about that another day.
They're in cahoots.
Yeah.
It was a team effort, okay?
That's crazy.
Team effort. He was convicted, died in prison in 1998. I obviously brought this up because it's a huge deal. Like you said, maybe the saddest black fact you can have. But there's a rumor that Martin Luther King was a closeted smoker. I don't know if you may have heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why he was on that balcony. And I find it very interesting because in the 60s, they were still smoking inside. And it was obviously frowned upon for a preacher and a leader like him to be smoking cigarettes.
So why would he be in the open smoking cigarettes?
Well,
Didn't want it in the house? The smell?
yeah, I think it's more like people didn't really know. So if you smoke in the room,
Okay.
someone who's doing room service, I smell like cigarettes. Does he smoke?
Fair.
And it's funny because obviously he's done a bunch of other things that are not the greatest, No one's perfect.
He's human.
But to think that
That's the excuse I'll use if I ever got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm human.
Well,
I mean, I'll never get caught because I never do anything negative. But
No.
allegedly.
Anyway, continue, Adriel. Let's bring him back.
But it's just interesting because if this is true, it's like this habit that he was trying to hide, which now no one would really probably hide something like that, was part of getting him killed. Because if he's not on that balcony, he's probably staying in that room because he had been, attacked a few times before that. So it's an interesting wrinkle there. This one is topical and depends what side you're on. Okay, I'm not here to pick sides. I am bipartisan. But 1968, this happened in June. Pierre Trudeau is sworn in as the 15th Prime Minister of Canada. So, of course, we know the news that happened this past week.
It's ironic.
Crazy time.
Whatever side you're on. But it's funny that we're here where, 68 was the year that essentially this is how Justin Trudeau got elected. His dad got elected.
Facts.
And here we are. So that was interesting. Another protest, Columbia University, New York. They're protesting the Vietnam War. It lasted a few days. They occupied a couple of buildings. And for nearly a week, they were not leaving. Like happens in America often, the police got involved. And that went south, beating and arresting hundreds of protesters. But this was one of those protests that brought other protests along. So people started protesting after that protest happened. Hearing all these protests is like, obviously we do protest now on kind of rare occasions. It happens. But we don't think nothing of it when it happens now.
Yeah, it's true.
You walk by a protest and you're just like, hope they're warm.
When was the last time you protested? Or have you ever protested?
I don't think I've ever protested. Yeah, I don't think I've ever protested.
Chris, have you ever protested?
No, I can't say I've actually protested. Maybe like in like elementary school, like, if we didn't like
a longer recess.
Maybe something to do with gym and we were like protesting.
If you want to count that, then I've protested. If you want to count that, I protested our song being changed for grade 6 graduation. I didn't want the graduation song. And we changed it to Move Along by All American Rejects.
You guys are some powerful activists, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all.
Look what we're fighting for.
Buddy, I just wanted to bring out the hockey sticks in gym class. That was always a big day for me.
Same. Hockey and gym was always a banger. This one is controversial only because the internet will internet. Helen Keller dies at age of 87 in 1968. The first deaf and blind person to earn a BA, a political activist, author, and lecturer. Obviously, you guys must have heard the internet say that she didn't exist or that everything was a lie. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? We talked about the moon landing. This is becoming the conspiracy podcast. But do you have any thoughts on Helen Keller and the validity of what she accomplished?
Does she even know if she accomplished anything? That was a joke.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, to be blind and deaf and still accomplish that much? That's crazy.
Yeah, I was always dubious, and I feel seen now that the internet is dubious with me, because I do feel like who's a part of this with her, because she couldn't do this on her own.
Who's pulling the strings?
Yeah, like who's her handler? Who's her manager? You know what I'm saying? Who's the QC to her little baby?
Yeah, it's
that's what I wonder. Like, so I feel like someone owns her masters. And this is one of those situations.
That must be one of the greatest parents of all time. Helen Keller's parents, to be able to teach your kid that.
Buddy, she's like living like Weekend at Bernie's her whole life, like just there.
But I also feel like she was a lecturer, apparently. How do you give lecture to someone who's blind and deaf? Like, is she just typing out?
Braille.
How do you know what the words say if you can't hear or see them? Like, how do you learn what those mean?
Yeah, like that's mad spelling mistakes.
Yeah.
You feel them, Chris. You feel them.
You think they had like some advanced tech that we don't have now? Yeah, where they were able to like plug her in
Hitler
and
was so aggressive, bro.
There is that dramatization where they show her like feeling the water on her hand and then they'll sign water into her hand. So that's how they did it.
Bro.
And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm good on that. In the 60s, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Another assassination. Okay. Assassination's running wild. Robert F. Kennedy assassinated in June. On the night that he won the California primary, which was putting him in reach of securing the Democratic nomination. Now, he was shot by a Jordanian immigrant who said that he was concerned for the Palestinian cause. He felt betrayed by Kennedy's support for Israel during a 6-day war in 1967. Still topical.
I was about to say, yeah.
And it's like a lot of these things, it's like, yeah, they were a long time ago, but it's like somehow not much has changed. Those changes, I guess, is the behavior. We're not, I guess, in an assassination culture as much anymore, a protest culture in the same way. It's a crazy sentence, but, things have changed in that way. Some good black facts. Okay, these two go together. Arthur Ashe, first African-American to win a U.S. singles tennis championship.
Okay.
Yep. And then a few months
shout out to
later,
Arthur.
the first black man ranked #1 in tennis. So Arthur Ashe, 68, doing some big things. And then last but not least, we got more black facts on Olympic protests. Now, this I knew about, but I don't remember that it happened in America. And that was something that I thought was interesting. Tommy Smith, John Carlos won gold and silver in the 200 meters, and they put their fists up for Black Power, protesting. Now they were stripped of their medals and thrown off the U.S. Olympic team, but till this day are seen as heroes in the black community. So big shout out to John and Tommy. But I forgot that happened in America. I remember that they did that at the Olympics, that it was a big protest, but doing that on home soil must have been a big deal at the time.
America.
Yeah. 68, some black facts.
Thank you, Adriel.
As we go forward, I think things will get less grim, hopefully, and we'll have some more triumphs. But this is maybe the saddest of all the
70s
years.
is going to be fun.
Yeah. We'll have some drugs in there, some music.
A little HIV.
Hey.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, whoa. A little something for everybody.
A little something for everybody is crazy.
Don't kill me. Okay, Adriel, I do appreciate your 1968 facts for us because we wanted to know what happened in 1968. Now, I want you guys to know something. All you listeners out there that didn't have a chance to come to the show, we opened up the door for people to give us some notes, give us some things to talk about, okay? And for those of you that wrote these notes, I hope you're listening.
This is for you. I am going to shout out the names for people who did put their name on here.
You want Chris to read it out?
Yeah, actually, I like that. Chris, want to come get these?
Sure.
I did look at a couple of them. There's some funny stuff in there, but they're mostly positive. So
okay,
I thank everyone for being positive. I did try to entice everyone to get at Ralph a little bit. Anyone who was there, I did say, listen, you got any grievances about Ralph?
Tell him.
Put them in the notes.
Tell him.
I
he
think
laughs with his shoulders too much.
I'm screaming.
All right, Chris, what do we got from the show?
All right, I hope everyone has good writing because reading's hard enough. Just kidding.
Reading's hard enough is hilarious.
Okay, we got. I love the way you involve the crowd. That's more of a statement.
Okay.
So, but respect.
Thank you,
whoever you are. They put a smiley face with it too. So,
okay.
Appreciate you. Let's see. I'm gonna do it blindly. What else we got? All right, we're pulling out a yellow. All right, another statement. keep killing it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
We'll keep killing it.
Someone signed it. Dirt, DIRT.
Oh, that's Devontae.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Devontae.
All right, shout out Devontae.
Friend of the show.
Appreciate you. All right, what do we got here? All right, we got another statement. All right. Hashtag Podfathers. Job well done, fellas. I mean, thank you.
Okay, appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Big ups.
This is going to be a good one, I feel
I like these statements.
Oh. Okay, who put this here? Why wasn't Stacks matching with Smiley and the mayor? I didn't get the memo. You know,
that's a fact.
That's a good point.
So should we coordinate for the next show?
Maybe we have to.
I think we have no choice at this point.
All right, say less.
Clearly the coordination was a hit.
Yeah, I think people liked it, that they were confused. Like, why is this guy wearing a vest? I was like, it's cold, buddy. It's cold. Oh, here's a big one. Here's a long one. A lot of words on here. I like this. Kind of a statement, but I'll read the whole thing. Shout out to the guys. I have only good things to say. I can't wait for the pod to be everyone's top pod of the year.
Hey.
Keep grinding and shining. So all a statement, but thank you for the statement, Britt. So
Shout out Britt. 2025.
Friend of the show. We got to get you back on.
Absolutely.
Seasoned.
All right, we got another statement. Great pod. All right, all nice things. This is a good one. Great pod, smiley face. I don't know who you are, but I like you already.
All right, appreciate you.
Okay, here we go. Another statement. My favorite podcast. So proud of you both. Congrats. So both. So one of us they didn't like, but that's okay. You figure out who it is.
Who are they not proud of?
Who are they not proud of? Who sucked?
I'm dead.
Who sucked?
Oh,
all right, guys. So that's actually it. We got all statements, no questions.
All right,
no questions. But I feel
like that.
I like it, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It was almost too positive.
Yeah.
Y'all know I love some positivity, but that was almost too positive. I wanted some constructive criticism. Okay.
I guess nobody has anything bad to say about me. What's wrong with that, man?
I don't know, man. I think there is something wrong with that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there was one that was like creative. He said you both, so one of us there was, but they didn't give us the credentials of why that person wasn't.
It was
Both.
subliminal, but
it was you two, obviously.
No, but I think it's actually good because now we can all three of us be in doubt that it could be us.
Ooh,
And it's like we don't know for sure.
I
So
like
we
it.
can pod the whole year
So
worried.
someone's stirring the pot right
Yeah.
now. You're trying to
I
end
like
the
it. I
podcast,
like
you
it.
son of a bitch.
Okay, all right.
I like that though. Yes,
Yeah.
I think every show we should do that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I think next time you guys can be a little more constructive.
Specific.
Yeah, and again, more towards Ralph. Okay,
Yeah,
I
obviously.
identify as sensitive, so nothing bad to say about me. But anything bad to say about Ralph, go for it.
Please do. People are starting to hate on me now.
Exactly.
So I wanted to get into the next thing for everybody. Recently,
Mm-hmm.
turned my TV on, turned on my Netflix. You know, Netflix started doing these live events. Watched the Super Bowl, which was kind of, well, not the Super Bowl, sorry. I watched the NFL, the Beyonce Bowl. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Beyonce Bowl, yeah.
I watched the Beyonce Bowl. That was dope, whatever. And I like the fact that Netflix is trying to do these live things. So I used to be a big wrestling fan growing up,
Mhm.
right? These guys got Monday Night Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Okay, so that's like Monday, Wednesday, and like Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, Friday, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Monday, Tuesday, Friday.
Yep.
Which is super dope. And I figured, you know what? Fuck the NBA for a little bit. Let me watch wrestling on Monday and Tuesday. So that's what I did. And quality was nice, quality was clean, and it brought back a little bit of nostalgia.
Weren't you more? I actually, same thing happened to me. I just turned my TV on a Monday, opened Netflix. I saw that Monday Night Raw was happening, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And it was like almost more hype than if I just watched it on cable somehow.
Mhm.
Like I was just more hyped to watch Monday Night Raw than I usually would be. And it's almost like a little bit of a better production. Like it's kind
Production's
of
great. Yeah,
it's kind of like a step up. Like when I used to work at the previous employer who shall not be named, I did a lot of wrestling. I did a lot of wrestling broadcasts.
Mhm.
So I felt like I got some nostalgia hopping back in. But I like this move from Netflix. I'm here for it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, like wrestling on Netflix. Like, how do you beat that?
Quality's clean. I have nothing to
Yeah.
complain about. The user interface is nice. It's smooth to work with. Who am I to complain? Chris, how you feel about that?
Yo, I like it. I mean, Amazon's been doing that too with sporting events, right? Like
Yes.
Oh, true. Hockey.
I've been
yeah.
watching the hockey ones for just speaking on Amazon because I haven't watched the Netflix wrestling yet. I'm definitely gonna tap in. But the what I noticed with the Amazon one, maybe probably similar. Actually, well, I watched the football game on Netflix, right?
Okay, dope. dope.
The sound's better. Like their sounds
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Sounds much
Like
better.
the-
Yeah,
it
it sounds clean.
It's way cleaner. Like even the production and like the pregame stuff is better.
Yep.
I like it. I know a lot of like the older folks are like maybe they're not as hip
Yeah.
to the app, so like
They
just
still
used
on
to their
cable?
TV, still on
Mhm,
cable.
mhm.
They don't like it, but nah, I like it. I like it.
That's good. So, Chris, would you say that you were a avid wrestling fan when you were younger?
Oh, when I was like a kid, yeah, buddy. Oh, me and my brother used to just
Like early 2000s.
early 2000s for sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Prime time.
Chris, I want you to do something for the mayor's office fans here and for Adriel as well, because I know Adriel watched a little bit of wrestling.
Mhm.
I need you to blind rank these 5 wrestlers,
All right.
okay? And this could be like your personal preference, like who you like watching, who you enjoy, who you hate. That's all good. Chris, are you ready?
Just rank 1 to 5.
No, you're going 5 to 1.
5 to 1. So 5 is the worst. 1's the best.
Actually, no. You know what you're gonna do? I'm
Yes.
gonna just tell you the name, and you're gonna put them in 1 to 5.
1 to
How's
5.
that sound?
Okay, and where I see them fit.
Yes,
Okay, blindly.
blindly.
All right, love
You
it.
ready?
I'm ready.
John Cena.
5. 5. 5. 5.
Hey.
5. Yeah.
Okay.
Not a John Cena fan.
Nah, I could always see him.
I can always see him. It's crazy.
Triple H.
Ooh. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go 4 for him. Actually, yeah. I'm going 4.
That's some trust. You don't know who you're about to hear that.
No, but I think I'm
some
up
good
for this.
ones?
I know Ralph's he's gonna set me up with the right ones.
I got you, fam.
All right.
Shawn Michaels.
Dude, I'm
Got
going.
3, 2, and 1 left.
I think you're gonna save me still. I think I'm gonna put him at 3, man. I'm going in order, but I'm gonna put him at 3. I'm put him at 3.
He has a lot of trust in your list right now.
Okay.
2 left.
Okay.
2 left. Give me the ones.
The Undertaker.
Ooh, okay. I don't know who you're gonna pick, and I hope I'm not wrong. I'm gonna put Undertaker at 1. I was a big Undertaker fan, with his brother Kane. Me and my brother We're brothers. So Kane and the Undertaker. You know,
one
maybe
would assume.
Yeah, one would assume we're brothers. You know, I mean,
Are they actually brothers in real life?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Wasn't that the whole thing? Like they're brothers.
Okay. I just thought they're just too tall.
But Undertaker at 1 is safe.
Wait,
That's what I would have
I
done.
think that's what I would have done too.
Undertaker at 1, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends.
But weren't they brothers in wrestling? Like that was like the thing.
I think so. Yeah,
like an
no,
underlying-
in wrestling it was. I just
Yeah.
don't know in real life.
No.
I'm Googling it right now, but continue.
But wrestling was real life back then.
Are not real brothers. There you go.
Just two tall white men.
Just too
Yeah,
tall.
portrayed as half brothers, brothers of destruction.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and the last one is The Rock.
Oh yeah, I would have put him. I might have put him at 5.
Yeah.
No, I would have put him at 4.
You got The Rock at 2.
I was hoping you were gonna give me a little Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's
in
what
there.
I was thinking. Okay, we're on the
That's
same
what I was
page.
waiting for.
thinking
That's my
too.
guy, buddy.
Okay.
Stone Cold would be my one.
100%.
I would have John Cena higher though, but not for his actual wrestling, for his raps.
yeah.
For
you
his,
used to-
for his raps.
Thugonomics?
Yeah, for his raps. And when I watched that like Vince McMahon thing, that little doc they had on the WWE,
Yeah.
and they talked about his raps, I was like, okay, he been hip hop.
So John Cena was your favorite wrestler?
No, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold was your favorite wrestler?
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
about you? Stone Cold as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Stone Cold was, but a name that I thought maybe you would get in there, but I had no way you would get this one.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember these wrestlers. I don't know if you remember a guy named Scotty Too Hottie.
Nah.
Scotty,
I don't know
that
who
name
Scotty
sounds
Too
familiar,
Hotty
but
is.
Oh,
I
buddy,
don't have a picture.
He used to rock the bucket hat with his hair spiked up in between the bucket. It was blonde.
Oh, okay.
And he was always,
wow.
they
I
did the
would not
tag
remember this
team.
guy.
I don't know this guy.
The name I remember,
And
but
I
I don't
think-
remember this guy's look.
I think his partner in wrestling was like Brad Way Too Sexy or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, Scotty Too Hottie. I like this hat.
Damn, I was an HBK guy.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I was an HBK guy. His finishing move, I used to try to kick my brother in the chin all the time.
fair.
The wrestling also video games were some of the best.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Some of the best video
Man,
games for sure.
come
Like
on.
before Madden and 2K got really, really good.
It was the
Yeah.
wrestling games for the boys.
games were really good.
Definitely.
I think if we can probably run this back at the end of the year
Yes.
and do the new school wrestlers.
Oof, I get it.
Yeah, 'cause I'm going to watch a little bit now that it's on Netflix.
Yeah. And I think as well, like when I started watching wrestling a bit a couple years ago, I was like, okay, I still see it's not the nostalgia from when we were younger,
Yeah.
but there's some guys here that I can,
They're entertaining.
but I do think the difference is some of the UFC and like MMA guys coming into wrestling.
True.
Yeah.
Because these guys are like famous before wrestling. I don't think wrestling had that before.
Yeah.
It was like the WWE made you famous.
Even Logan Paul, he's a part of Raw.
Yep. So that's a whole different thing that we didn't have back in our day.
Facts. All right, so you guys let me know if you liked Chris's list or if you hated Chris's list, but I like Stone Cold. I
Mhm.
like, what'd you call him? Scotty Too Hottie?
Scotty Too
Scotty
Shout
Hottie.
out to
Hottie.
Scotty Too Hottie. And then shout outs to HBK for sure.
Yeah.
Adriel,
Mm-hmm.
you want to step in the music room? How you feeling?
Let's do it. Yeah, there's a lot going on in music right now. We're not going to talk about what's really happening on the internet and music. There's obviously a big hit happening. I've been listening to that song without listening to it for the past week.
Fair.
But there are actual albums that I'm actually excited for. And I got to give shout out to you for putting this list together or sending this list in because there were some albums on this list that I didn't even know were happening.
Yeah.
So a big shout out to you for putting this list together because, of course, the two that I thought of that I'm looking forward to are two of the biggest rappers of all time. Drake, who just, I guess, leaked that he has music coming
Yeah.
in 2025. I want to hear what his music sounds like. And then J. Cole, The Fall Off.
Yes.
That's something that I've been waiting for a long time. And I'm hoping that he actually does retire after that. Not because I don't like J. Cole, but just because rappers never retire. And I do feel like when an artist retires, it does help their legacy more than hurt. I think about Jay-Z not putting out music since 444, Michael Jackson making his last album Invincible in 2001. So retiring and having some space between your last album and you like still being youngish, I think helps. But who are you excited for? Like, what's the album you're looking forward to?
So really quickly, so for Drake, that's the P&D and Drake album you're looking forward to for the year?
That one, but he said he's dropping a solo project as well.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. For me, yeah, Fallout's definitely up there.
Mhm.
For me, I'm gonna go a little bit more under the radar. I'm gonna
Okay.
go with we just talked about the Brothers of Danger. What are they called?
Brothers of Destruction.
Brothers of Destruction.
Brothers of Danger. I like that one.
These two are Brothers of Danger.
I'm gonna go with the Cocaine Brothers over here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with the Clips album. It's a little more under the radar. They haven't dropped a project in maybe 2 decades damn near
Yeah.
Pretty much.
together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Clips dropping. Like Malice, he's been here and there post sermons rapping, and Pusha T's been putting out great project after great project, especially in this like latter half of his career.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see them actually together. So
Yeah, I have that on my list too. I'm excited for that one because when I was a Clips fan growing up, I was more a Malice fan than a Pusha T fan. And so when Pusha T
different.
signed to Kanye and like became the bigger star, I was kind of like, okay, let me kind of like dig in more to see what he's about. But I always thought Malice was the better rapper. He's the older brother. Push always talks about like that's where he got a lot of his sauce from. Obviously, Push is more famous now, having this huge solo career. But I think to have them back together is going to be like a pretty big deal.
yeah, definitely. I think like the hip hop heads that are around our age are really gonna appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to play into that nostalgia factor. It's just like,
oh, for sure.
you
And
know?
then Pharrell's gonna be producing.
Yeah.
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 Must.
You know he has like 4 or 5 banger beats in the cut. right now
Yes,
for them
yes.
boys. So
Before we go to Chris, is there like a feature that y'all want to hear on this album? Like that's like either like from that time, that sound. Like I personally want to hear like Conway on this project. Like
Oh,
that
Conway
would
feels
be
like
crazy.
a great fit for
Absolutely.
anyone you guys could think of who's like would be great on this project.
I think the best feature that the Clips ever got
Mm-hmm.
was from Cameron.
Wow.
That
Okay.
Popeyes track.
Yeah.
So if they can do a Popeyes too, whew, I'm in it.
Over with.
And Cameron is still in shape.
Yeah, he's still in shape. He's ready to go.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, no, I like your Conway pick, man. I can't. Now that I'm thinking Conway, I'm like, I don't know who else would be like a better fit
Mm-hmm.
for like a Clips. Maybe like New Age. Maybe like a Joey Badass would be cool.
That's
Well,
a good
that's a
one.
good
That
one.
would be cool.
That's
just
a
for,
good
like,
one.
Like I could see that stylistically
He can fit
working.
in. Yeah, he can fit
Yeah.
in with them.
But I'd like the Conway one. That's
and
big.
and Kanye, I think, is an obvious one.
Kanye, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but Kanye had good songs with the Clips before he signed Pusha T. So that was kind of like when Pusha T got signed to good music. That's when I was like, okay, maybe there's something here. Because on the surface, it felt kind of weird. Pusha T's like a super street rapper.
Yeah.
Kanye was signing like Kid Cudi
Yeah,
and
he
Big
saw
Sean.
something. Yeah.
You know, but when you think back to it, Kanye, when he did songs with the Clips, they were pretty good. So there's something there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, Chris, what albums are you excited for?
What albums? Yeah, no, I'm glad you sent this list. I was running through it earlier, just like so many I didn't even think of, but I'm really looking forward to this Griselda, What Would Sheen Gun Do 2? The first one was sick. Like I love, that's probably one of my favorite Griselda albums is the first one. And getting them all back together rapping will be great. Freddie Gibbs Madlib.
Oh, yeah.
That one will be good.
You know that's a classic on the
Mac,
way.
Yeah.
Mac Miller Madlib, too.
Mac Miller Madlib.
Yeah.
Weren't they teasing Montana for a while now? Like, wasn't that supposed to come out last year?
Yes.
That's what I thought. So I was like, did this come out already? Like I was trying to run through it, but I think that'll be great. Yeah, no, man. I think all the ones you mentioned, but yeah, for me, definitely Griselda, and even West Side Gun's solo project will be cool because I was bumping his last project that he.
Yeah, he doesn't miss. He still puts out really good albums.
Yeah.
I got 2 more before we move on. Okay, 2 more before we move on quickly.
Talk to me.
Smino, She's Always Dancing.
Mhm.
I know he just dropped, but I didn't know this, but he said that he made this album 6 years ago, the one he just dropped.
Oh wow!
So I guess he was sitting on it, just had some of these records, and I guess this new one is more like recent work. So I'm excited to hear what the new one is sounding like because he's always kind of pushing the genre forward. So
Okay.
want to hear that. And then this one is like a personal favorite of mine. Now, I am not gang affiliated. I am extremely a civilian, but these 2 artists together,
What a disclaimer.
I have to because these 2 artists are definitely gang affiliated. Snoop Dogg and Dave East.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, that's why I had to preface it. I'm definitely a civilian, but I want to hear them 2 together. Obviously, a whole bunch of Crip talk. Maybe have every Crip in the industry.
Bro, that studio must be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You can't breathe, yo.
Yeah.
Boy, little TJ would be happy in there.
I'm screaming. Yeah, so those are the other 2 that I'm looking forward to: Snoop Dogg and Dave East and Smino.
I like that. That's some good ones, guys.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, Nelly's dropping.
Oh shit!
Gotta get Jello on that.
You have to get
Yo,
Jello on that. I
absolutely.
swerve and that corner.
Whoa. Oh
Uh,
my goodness.
Gentlemen. I got two scenarios for you. Okay,
Okay.
you're in the car.
Mhm.
You got the aux.
Okay.
It could be CarPlay. It could be back in the day when you had to actually push the cord in.
FM transmitter, yup.
Yeah. Two scenarios. Scenario one, you're with the mandem. What's the song you play? Scenario two, you're in a car full of women. What are the songs that you play? Today.
Okay, what time of the day is it? Where are we coming from? Are we on the way to somewhere? Are we on the way back from somewhere?
I'll make it fair.
Mhm.
We're on a road trip. First song to start the road trip.
First song start the road trip. Interesting. Okay, so if we're in the car with the Mandem, the first song start the road trip, I'm going Metro Boomin, 21 Savage, Glock in my lap. That's a good start.
Okay.
Like just the energy of that song. People can rap along without feeling like we're doing karaoke.
Okay.
So that's the one I think for the guys. Now, for the women, I have kind of two thoughts here, okay? Usually, y'all know I get in my R&B bag. So usually, personally, I would go with R&B. But that depends on the kind of woman you have in the car. But saying I don't know them, okay, these are strangers to me. I don't know them from anything. I would go R&B, okay? And I would go Don't You Know, Erykah Badu.
Ooh, that's
Just
smooth.
Ooh,
Smooth.
okay.
Smooth. Yeah, he's not trying to piss anybody off in the car.
If you got a problem with that song, I can't help you.
No.
So I'm keeping it smooth with those two. What about you guys?
If I got the ladies in the car allegedly and we're on a road trip,
Allegedly.
I want to keep it something new, something that's a little viral, but still a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to go with Saw Baby, Viking.
Okay.
Ladies are loving that track. They're doing
Yeah.
their little wall dances to it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not complaining.
Yep.
Might have liked a couple of the posts. Who knows? Maybe I did. Maybe
Little
I didn't.
accidental like,
Go
you
through
know,
Ralph's legs.
thumb was slipping.
And yo, easy answer. If I'm with the mandem and we're the road trip's starting, yo, I gotta get the vibes up. I gotta get everybody going. I'm staying with TikTok songs right now.
Wow.
I gotta play that G3, that Jello, baby.
Oh,
I gotta play
yo,
Tweaker,
that-
man.
Yeah,
That's
me
a
too.
good one. How did I not say that? Yeah.
Me too.
You gotta swerve bend that corner.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's and to start get it out the way. So it's like everyone's already engaged,
Yes.
everyone's hyped.
Yeah, and then I
like-
can slowly ease them into like the older shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I do think for a road trip, it's probably better for like kind of boom bap rapidy rap. Because like no one's gonna be singing along to every song on a road trip. You might just be sitting there
Yes.
chilling. So some like Raekwon or Joey Badass is fine on a road trip. Maybe
100%.
on like the drive to the club, you want to hear more Future.
Yes.
But if we're driving for like 10 hours,
Yeah,
you can play only Built for Cuban Links. Like that,
Yeah.
there's no
100%.
problem with that.
And the placement for the road trip songs is very strategic. You got to start with the energy because the ride just started. Everybody has energy,
Yeah. And then
right? Then ease them in. Then the Didn't You Know comes on. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
Yeah, and you got to get the sing-alongs on there. Everyone, knows the words.
Yeah.
It's
Then once a
helpful.
couple niggas start dozing off, then
Yeah, then we can go straight
In
into
your
Snow
bag.
Allegra.
There you go. There you go.
Chris, what you playing?
So I'm dude, this one could be for the ladies or the fellas, but I'm running Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Probably throwing that on.
Ooh, that's a
starting it,
good
just hopping
one.
in. You're feeling good, just like, in the back. And then let's see. I don't know if I'm going hip hop, I might go. If I'm going for something for everybody that they want to know, they want to hear, maybe like Let the Beat Build, Lil Wayne. Like realistically,
Ooh, I like
that's
that.
probably coming on
Yeah.
the mix.
Yeah.
Or if it's just, if it depends on what we're doing. Maybe we're driving to the States to go to like a college football game, which I'm doing next year.
Mhm.
So, we're feeling the trip. I might throw on Rubber Bands and Wait by Benny the Butcher.
Ooh, that's a good
That
one.
might be the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the vibe, the Buffalo vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if and then, maybe just for fun, I'm throwing on One Last Breath Creed, just to get everyone in the car just
I listened to that recently.
feeling a vibe.
Speaking of you got some great ones on your
Yeah.
list. Dreams, I think, is one that like is perfect for the first play.
Yeah.
But it also depends on the crowd because I have some
Definitely.
crowds where it's like
They wouldn't know it.
they should.
They should,
But they
I know what you
wouldn't.
mean.
And then as well, you said Let the Beat Build, Lil Wayne. Now, what I did for New Year's Eve, I was at a house party. Shout out to my boy Akil, he hosted, and yeah, big shout out to Akil. we always talk about someone who's playing Scare the Hose music if a man is doing that.
Don't fucking kill me.
What happens when a woman is playing Scare the Hose music?
Scare the niggas music?
Because at this party...
Wait, hold on. Is the woman playing Scare the Hoes or she's playing Scare the Niggas?
I'm going to explain it to you.
Okay.
And
Break it down.
Disclaimer, I was with her on this because I'm a huge fan of what she was playing. But she wants to hear Lil Wayne's greatest hits. So when you said let the beat build,
Marry her.
I'm on the aux playing like Ja Rule and Ashanti, like keeping it light, you know what I mean? She said, yo, play three-peat. Play three-peat.
Marry her.
And this, whatever, 5'3", 110-pound white woman is rapping all of three-peat like it's nobody's business.
Don't kill me.
And usually, we as men, you trying to avoid that to kind of keep the mood light at a party. It's like, what do you do when the women are asking for that? Because that was this party. It was her and a couple of her friends. They were asking for that music. And so, I don't know if you had been in that situation, but what do you do in that situation? You just roll with it, or do you try and change it up?
I'm going to bring it back to women. You know, that whole movement, lean in. I'd lean into it.
Yeah.
We're running that all night because I'm leaning in.
Today.
Ice cream paint job.
We're no ceilings.
DOA, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. Yo, honestly, the ladies curate the vibe. If there's more than one woman that wants it,
Yep.
we're
That's
playing
more
it.
than enough. Yeah.
That's all it takes, yo.
Yeah. Always strapped, pop bottles. that's where we went with it.
Bottles.
Yes. Pop
God
bottles.
damn.
That's coming on right when we're pulling up to the destination. You're getting ready to get out to the Airbnb.
Yes.
We're spending some money. All right, gentlemen. I want to step into sports if that's okay.
Let's do it.
Love it.
Love it. NBA All-Star voting just came out.
Yep.
Couple rounds probably by the time you guys are able to listen to this pod. There's going to be a lot of returning faces in the All-Star game. People that we know and love. People that we've seen in the game already. But I want to take the time now for us to figure out players that are going to be in their first All-Star this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, Adriel, I got 3 players.
Let's hear it.
And I know you have a few players as well. My first-time All-Stars. I'm going number 1, Tyler Hero.
Yep, that was the first name I wrote down as well.
I think Tyler Hero is definitely going to be an All-Star this year. Miami has an above 500 record, and if you're in the East, that means you're going to the playoffs.
Yep.
That's all it takes. It's the only criteria.
Yep.
So shout outs to Tyler Hero, especially with this whole Jimmy Butler mess.
We'll talk about that in a bit. Yep.
Exactly. So more shots to Hero. He is the number 1 guy. Bam is his supporting piece, okay? My next pick, I'm staying in the Eastern Conference, but I'm going to do a big man.
Okay.
Pause. Evan Mobley on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's a good one. I think he locked that up last night. If y'all are watching this later, we were recording this the day after Cleveland beat OKC.
Yes.
I was saying this to someone this morning. I think Evan Mobley is the best player on that team right now. And I think that, it's probably going to be a couple of years where people start saying that just because Donovan Mitchell is the most accomplished player on that team. But if you look at his defense, he's probably second defensive player of the year right now. He's become an amazing scorer. He's a good rebounder as well. He's probably, to me, the most certain, I feel, of the guys you've named so far. There's one guy who I think you might name who's maybe the most certain, but Evan Mobley's a good pick for sure.
I'm going to leave that most certain guy to you.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to go a little more obscure with my list. So this one, it might not be on your list, but it's on mine. I'm going with a guy that's on a team that has not had an All-Star in a very, very long time.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Cade Cunningham on the Detroit Pistons.
Okay, Cade was on my list too.
Okay.
Cade, I think, is a lock at this point. Like, they're, I think, 2 games over 500 right now. I think they're on a 5-game winning streak as we record this. So, yeah, Cade's a good one. And I'm most happy out of that group for Tyler Hero. Like, Cade was number 1 draft pick, first overall.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley was top 5 pick. People were comparing him to Tim Duncan and all type of Hall of Famers. So that should not be a surprise. But it wasn't that long ago that they were trying to trade Tyler Hero for Damian Lillard, and everyone was saying that wasn't enough. And everyone was saying he's overpaid, he's overrated.
Yeah.
To see him, improve his game and make it to the All-Star game now a couple years later.
It solidifies his career a little bit. All-Star, 6th man of the year that he's received. Like, he has the hardware at a very young age. Like, I think it's only, his 5th season or 6th
I think he's 24, 25. Yeah.
So it's like the sky's the limit for him, and he's kind of proving what Pat Riley's been seeing.
Yeah, and he's one of those rare players who had playoff success on a personal level before any of these accolades, because he was great in the playoffs, before he won Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah, in the
before,
bubble. I
Yeah,
remember.
before he's an All-Star. So those are two good names. The name that we're talking about, who's like an obvious one, is Victor Wembanyama.
Definitely.
I looked at his stats the other day. I was like, oh, this is really what he's doing. Yeah, he's unreal.
Yeah.
He is unreal. I think he's 11th in the league in scoring right now.
Ridiculous.
So,
First
yeah.
in blocks, probably.
Yeah,
He's
no,
up there.
he is breaking all kind of rules and records. So I think he's going to be a staple for All-Star games in the future.
Yes.
This guy, I almost call him overrated, but I'm a huge fan of him, so I didn't want to put that on his jacket. Jalen Williams from OKC Thunder.
J-Dub, yeah. You have to. He's first in the West right now.
Yeah. The Thunder are killing it right now. They've have an amazing record. They're on a pace to win 70 games. I don't know if you've heard that,
Yeah,
which
that's
is like,
crazy.
if two teams win 70 games in the same season, that feels wild to me.
Two small market teams.
So I'm excited for him. I think he should make it because they're gonna get two. And then this next one, he was almost last year. I think this year he'll make it because they are right now at second in the West, and that's Alperen Şengün from the Houston Rockets.
That's a great one. Yeah.
I think he's one of those guys who's extremely underrated. People compared him to Sabonis and to Jokic earlier in his career. I think he's not either of those guys because he actually is an athlete. Like, he can run the floor. He's athletic. He can jump a little bit. Both of those guys can jump over a phone book. And Alperen Şengün can actually move for a man his size. So I think he has a chance of making it. I'll say this. We had two guys both on our list, Hero and Cade Cunningham. So I would say those are the two most likely just because
I think so.
they're on both of our lists. But
Yeah.
I think we got a shot of going 6 for 6.
I think all of them definitely have a shot, especially with injury replacements as well.
Yeah.
There's options for all of these guys. There's a bunch of guys that we haven't named as well. So yeah. I think that's a good little crop of guys that we have, and the future's looking bright for the league.
Before we move on, there's a new All-Star format. They're playing a bunch of games to 40 points.
Yes.
Teams of 8. How do you feel about that? Because we haven't talked about that privately either. So I want to know what you think about that.
Yeah. I did see all of that. And the biggest thing that's coming out of all of this is some of the players are upset.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm noticing with the NBA is the players are upset because it's a change, it's something different. But they need to realize that they're just not changing things for the sake of changing things. No, they're changing things because there's a lack of effort in the All-Star game. So I'm not mad at Adam Silver for making some type of change because we are trying to baby and coddle grown men into trying hard for a game.
And that's the part I do think is the biggest thing. And it's funny because we haven't put the blame on the leaders as much in the league, which we know that's the reason why. But it is really like LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry. It's those three guys. Those are the leaders of the league. Like, obviously, we know Jokic and Luka are not going to try. Like, that's different. LeBron and Steph Curry and KD are the guys who are 15 plus years in the league who, if LeBron starts guarding someone, like, full court, everyone's going to try.
100%.
And I think Kobe was that guy before he passed, before he retired, who, okay, Kobe's trying, we got to try. Like, Kobe's trying, we can't not try. LeBron is not that kind of player. So I think LeBron is really the kind of at fault here. I don't love this new format, honestly, because if anyone's watching any of these games, 40 points is not a lot. Like, these guys are going to reach 40 points in
That's where
5
the
minutes.
defense has to come in.
It's like, I get it, you don't want to have it too high because then it's like a longer game in a sense. But in an All-Star game, 40 points is like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like this All-Star game is going to be over super quick. The one wrinkle I do like is having the shooting stars, like rookie, sophomore team.
Yeah. Have them come in, make a name for themselves.
Yeah, because I think the players will have enough pride to not lose to that team.
Yeah.
And that team does have some stars on it. I hope Victor gets to play with that team. That's my real hope, is that Victor makes the All-Star team, but plays with the rookie sophomores. Because if Victor plays with them, I think Victor's going to try. And I think if Victor tries, everyone's going to have to be, okay, we got to try or else we ain't got a shot here. So I don't love it, but I think there's a chance that it could be entertaining.
I need something on All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
It's too boring.
They're
bro.
so boring.
It's boring, and this is the players' fault. Like, point blank, period. It's the same format. We love dunk contests. We love three-point shootout. But if you guys don't care about the All-Star game, which is the highlight of the entire weekend, how do you expect us to care? And you have to look at it on a deeper level. I know you were supposed to do your rant portion, but this is just my quick All-Star rant.
Let's hear it.
You as a player have to look at this as your overall brand name, right? If the
Facts.
All-Star game and all these eyes, you have brand new jerseys that you're wearing, new fans that are potentially going to be watching you. It's a privilege and an honor to be an All-Star. You're already getting paid money that I'll never see in my life, right? Take on that privilege. Play harder. Make the game enjoyable. Like, nobody wants to watch a glorified pickup game. Like, I see niggas try harder when they do their summer runs. And there are actual kids out there watching you that want to potentially be fans of you. Care about them.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't understand is the effort. It's like, you guys definitely try in the summer when you're not getting paid to play in the summer. So you guys know how to try in a game without injuring yourself. And then as well, especially in the modern NBA, it was less, I think, 20 years ago. But in the modern NBA, all these guys are top players from like grade 9, grade 10.
Yeah.
And they all have like Adidas All-Stars games, McDonald's All-Star games that they play in over and over again. So you guys know how to play an All-Star game and show out without hurting yourself. So I don't understand this idea of now that you're in the league, we're trying to take it slow. It's like we've all seen the clips of Anthony Edwards in an All-Star game scoring 40 in high school or whoever it is. So I think they can do that here. I don't see it really as a real excuse. So I don't know. I really hope that something changes. One guy who's not going to be in the All-Star game this year is Jimmy Butler.
That's a great segue, man. Yo, give us some gunshots for that.
It has been a crazy last month. For anyone who hasn't been following, Jimmy Butler has been trying to get traded from the Miami Heat. It started with a few teams that he would go to. Now it's open to any team that he would go to. Chris, have you been seeing any of this? Are you aware of anything going on with Jimmy Butler? I want to hear your thoughts on it before I go off. What do you think about this?
Well, I just want to. What I don't understand is like I want to know like the backstory on like why he wants to leave so badly and why he's kind of acting like that. Because I thought he had a good fit down there. It seemed like he was playing. He's coming out with hairstyles every year. Having fun. I felt like he liked the team, and now it's what I never like when players are. I don't know, like it just as a team guy, when there's a player like that, he's a great player, but he just has that kind of mentality and attitude and goes to the media and is just kind of being like
a dickhead.
A dickhead, kind of like Tyreek Hill right now is with Miami, right? Like wanting out, and it's like I just don't like that team mentality. And it's like if I'm another team that I'm trying to trade for him, I want him on my team. Obviously, you want that skill, and like obviously you can go somewhere else and be a good fit, but like. Is there not a concern that might be is that what you want in your locker room? Like, do you want that attitude in your locker room? Do you want that mentality where you're going to quit on your guys and just mid-season? Like, this is early. This is mid-season. We're just at the mid-season mark.
Yeah, and this is not the first time doing this. No. I think that's the part of it, too, is like he done this before when he was in Minnesota. That's how he got to Philadelphia.
Chicago,
trends, man.
Chicago as well. And it really comes down to money. I think that's the big part of this. He's 35 years old. He got extended while he was in Miami for a 3-year deal. The 3-year deal is up at the end of next season, and he didn't get extended. So
put your GM hat on. Put your GM hat on.
It's a bucket.
Adriel. Jimmy Butler's 35. Do you re-sign him for a 2-year, 121?
I wouldn't. That's the other part too. Is like I think they're actually both right. This is one of those situations where two things can be true. Because I don't think it's smart to re-sign him. He's 35, going to be 36 next season. He already doesn't play all the time. Like, he already has injury issues throughout his whole career. So at this age, it's probably not going to get any better. And then on top of it, it's kind of like, you've seen where this team can go. Like, obviously, they went to the finals twice. They had a good shot at it. But I think they can be like, okay, like, we're not going to be led by a 38-year-old Jimmy Butler. Going to take us. And then Jimmy on his side, it's like, this is last big contract. They have the over 38 rule, which is like you can't sign a large contract going through age 38. It's why LeBron's on these 2-year contracts. So it's like, this is going to be his last big contract for multiple years. So I understand him being like, no, I want to secure this money. It's kind of like Paul George. Paul George is around the same age. I think he turns 35 or is 35 already.
Yeah.
And Paul George's contract doesn't look good right now. He's not playing as good as he usually does. But if he didn't do what he did, he would not get that $200 million. So I think Jimmy Butler is kind of thinking like that of
putting him first.
I want to get my money. How do we do it? I just think the way that they're going about it is kind of not great because I agree with you. It doesn't look good for a team trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
It's like, do I want that guy on my team? Do I want to have that headache? Like, it's like, yeah, he's a good player, but is it worth all
Yeah.
of this.
Like, you want guys who want to win, and like, I'm sure obviously you still want to win, but
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pro athletes, get paid as much as you can. Like, do what you can, get as much money as you can, 100%. But there has to be that kind of like balance of like, how bad do you want to win? Like, at the end of the day, pro sports, like, to me, it's about winning. It's about winning, being the best in the league. And if you're gonna cut, and if it's all only about the dollars, which it kind of seems like, and it's like you're making it too much about yourself, like, I just don't think that's a good environment for a locker room. I don't think that's a good environment for the younger players seeing that.
Not a good example.
No, not a good example for anyone, right? Like,
Terrible example, man. Jimmy, I gotta be honest with you, bro. Wherever you go, stop making problems. Just get there and hoop, bro. Just get there and hoop. If you want to go to the Suns, go to the Suns. I think that's the best fit, and we'll rock that way. But I promise you, Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishiba. Yeah, I googled your name.
like, think about what teams that he might actually go to. Like,
It's Phoenix. So-
Phoenix?
Yeah.
but
so
what
watch
are they
this.
going to give up to get him?
Bradley
Like,
Beal. So watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ishiba. Looking at you, I googled your name today. When you do that trade for Jimmy Butler and Bradley Beal, which I know you're gonna do, you are going to regret that.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Ooh.
And that's my last thing on that. Adriel, you have anything else to say? Chris?
I hope he goes to a good team, and I hope he gets his money. I've been kind of, I don't want to say feeling for him because has no problem paying his bills.
yeah.
But I think about Kawhi and Paul George the past year, where Kawhi signed that extension for 3 more years when he was injured at the time, and then Paul George signing his $200 million deal when he's been injured most of the season.
Mm,
And it's like that's what these guys are trying to do. It's like both of those guys probably are not worth their contracts
Yeah.
in reality. But it's like at that age, that's what you do is you give me the deal, let me get signed now so I can ride off into the sunset. I think Jimmy's just kind of like in a position that they were not in, where he's like, my team that I'm on is not going to give me the money, so
Mhm.
where do I go get it?
Yeah,
So-
I agree.
yeah.
Good luck to Jimmy. Maybe by the next pod he'll be traded, so we'll have a whole different conversation.
Yeah. It's just tricky, right? In basketball, they have a luxury tax, right? There's the
Yeah.
cap's not really a problem.
Yeah.
But like in hockey, for instance, like there's a cap, like there's a big cap, and that's
Mhm.
always the issue right now. And the cap's been delayed, and now you have issues where players are like, "All right, you want to win, or do you want us just to give you all the money in the world?" And then you have guys like Sidney Crosby who should be getting paid a lot, go to the
Mhm.
game, face of the game for generations, made so much money, and he's taken lower cuts to try to bring on players to his team.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I know you don't see that with basketball because they can pay them exorbitant
Mhm.
amounts of money. But it's like
But
you gotta have that balance, and like going back, who are you gonna give up? Where you wanna give up some young guys, you wanna give up some character guys in your locker room to bring in someone who's not gonna how's
might
he gonna
implode
gel with
the
the team,
entire
and you're gonna
team,
implode exactly.
Yeah.
Implode the entire
Before you move on, Chris actually makes a great point. Is like that should happen in basketball more because there's more money.
yeah.
When it's like before, like when DeRozan signed his first big contract, it was $45 million
Yeah.
for the whole contract for 4 years. Now guys are making that in 1 year.
Yeah.
So it's like you can technically afford to take less and still have a lot of money.
Yeah.
But guys are like, no, now that there's more, I want more.
Yeah.
But you're right. There should be an avenue where they take less because they're making so much more money. But you know what? Let's move on to movies where they're definitely not taking less.
no, they're taking it all.
That was a fantastic transition. He's cooking today, man.
He's on one, man.
Come on, man. Hibachi over here.
Load management.
It works. I just want to get really quickly into this topic of film. As you guys know, I do love my movies,
Mhm.
and the year just started. January is really a dead month in the world of films, but throughout the year, there's going to be a couple movies that I'm interested in. I'm just going to name 3 for you guys that are my most anticipated films of 2025.
Okay, let's hear it.
2 superhero films that I can't wait to watch. The first one, Superman Legacy.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Teaser trailer came out. It looks like a brand new take on Superman. And where Man of Steel was kind of dark and gritty, this brings what Superman represents the most: hope.
I think this looks like the one that should be the one. But again, I'm dubious because to me, Superman should be what Spider-Man is. Like for all the comic book heads, Superman kind of was the guy before the movies came into play.
And Batman kind of took that space.
Yeah, and it's like it's
Yeah.
kind of odd that in movies Batman is the guy more than Superman, when in the comics it was never like that. So hopefully Superman can kind of like take their spot as a top dog, but I'm dubious.
I think it coincides with the films. Like, you're absolutely right. From the 80s until 2025 now,
Mhm.
we've gotten how many Batman movies ever since Christopher Reeves
Yep.
passed away, and like they were done with his trilogy and whatever, or whatever. Whenever they were done with Christopher Reeve's films,
Yeah.
we haven't gotten a Superman movie until Man of Steel that came out like 10, 15 years ago,
Yeah.
whatever the case
And
is.
there was Smallville. Got Smallville the credit.
Yeah, there was like, okay. Yeah. But then when you come to Batman media, we've gotten probably like 5, 6, 7, 8 Batman films,
Yeah.
multiple TV shows and animated products.
The
So
Penguin.
there you go.
Yeah.
Like we're getting more content from Batman villains than we are from Superman. So I found that crazy. But you're absolutely right. My next superhero film, we haven't got one of these in a long time, so I can't wait. The Fantastic Four.
Oh wow.
First Steps.
Yep.
So the last Fantastic Four movie that came out was trash. Fan Four Stick. I remember that. Shout outs to Miles Teller. Shout outs to Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
But that movie was garbage.
That was a force.
They definitely forced that. Before that, when we were younger, we had the 2 Fantastic Four movies, the one with the Silver Surfer and the other one with Dr.
Those
Doom.
were better.
Those are solid, yeah. Especially growing up around that era with like Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of dope. And my last movie, it's actually a horror movie. I'm not even a big horror guy. But my last movie is 28 Years Later.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think I was going to say?
I don't know. It's the one I'm picking, so you'll
Okay.
see. I'll get there.
28 Years Later. They're bringing back the director from the original 28 Days Later. And
Nice.
28 Days Later is one of the best zombie movies I ever watched. And I love zombie movies.
Yeah.
It makes you kind of think about what you would do in that scenario.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And these aren't the regular zombies.
They
These
can
are
run, right?
Yeah, they fast. They fast. It's a bunch of Noah Lyles running at you.
Yeah,
with a virus.
no, it's
So kind of like
different.
the regular Noah Lyles.
Screaming. All right, Chris.
Those are my 3.
Chris, what are you looking forward to?
Honestly, not a lot of movies I was looking forward to. Really, only 2. The one for sure is Happy Gilmore 2. That's definitely
Yo,
for
I
me,
saw that.
That's
Okay.
top tier list for me, man. Childhood. Obviously, I'm a huge golf guy, so it's like bringing that together. I like some of the Tiger Woods is in it, so I think it's gonna be great. And then just the other one I'm looking forward to, only because I saw the preview. I went through the list and there was nothing on there that was really popping out to me, other than the one movie that has Adriel's favorite actor, of course,
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Sinners.
That's when he's playing twins,
yeah,
right?
the preview looked crazy.
I had
Preview
that-
looked decent.
I had that on my list too, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Told you he's a fan.
I'm a big Coogler fan.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Nobody's perfect. Obviously, Coogler's biggest flaw is loving Michael B. Jordan. But it does look good.
It does.
It does
It
look
looks
good.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
vampire, like 1800s, 1900s.
Yeah.
I saw the
Yeah.
preview and I went to the movies with my grandma. What did I see? Oh, I can't even remember what I saw. But anyway, I
But
saw
you
the
remember you
preview.
saw
No,
the
it looks
preview.
Saw the preview in theaters, and I was like, "All right, I got to check."
It does
this out.
look good.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'm going to
Adrian?
run through some quickly before we get to animation. The Accountant 2. I didn't know that
Oh, fuck.
I didn't know that it was
Ben
like.
Affleck's coming back?
Yeah, I didn't know that it was sequel.
No, the
like,
accountant
ready.
was good.
No,
Yeah?
it was, but I didn't know
Okay.
that it was a sequel coming. So
It was like corporate John Wick.
yeah. John Wick in a tie.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
to
yeah,
peep it.
Yeah,
I gotta peep
yeah.
it.
So I like that. Freakier Friday. We're talking about the sequels.
What?
Freaky Friday is coming back.
Who's in that? I gotta look that
the,
up.
The same two. Lindsay and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Lindsay's back? Nah, I gotta watch that for sure.
I watched Lindsay in a Christmas movie over the break, so
I think
clearly
she's doing well.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
back.
she's not crazy.
No, she's back.
She's not on her Amanda Bynes right now.
Oh,
But
God.
I am very interested to see how this comes out because it's so long between the two that it's almost a whole different movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're grown now. We were kids when the first one came
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
so
yeah.
whole different movie. And then the last one is Michael, which is a Michael Jackson biopic.
Oh, that's coming out this month.
I think it says October.
Is it October?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
But I'm interested to see that one because
Definitely.
the biopics, so the bigger the artist is, like the more the biopic is going to be kind of
Facts.
critiqued. You know, like I think the Freddie Mercury one was probably the biggest one we've gotten for someone so far, and people were, you know,
You're right.
people
October
are-
3rd.
people were on different sides for that one. I thought it was good, but people were on different
Oh,
sides.
fuck. Nia Long's in it. Bomba Club.
Yeah, that's a reason to see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one interesting to see this because it's like also Michael was not black his entire life. So it's like whoever's playing Michael is like, are you gonna have a different actor play white Michael and
Yo,
play black
true.
Michael? Or are you gonna have a black actor in whiteface? Or a white actor in black? Like, where are you going with
His
this?
son is playing him.
I like the white face.
His son is playing him?
Yeah, Jafar Jackson.
That
Oh,
is-
sorry. Jermaine Jackson's son is playing Michael Jackson.
Okay, because I thought
Wow.
Jafar was a character in Lion King.
It is.
Wait, isn't that Aladdin?
Oh, Aladdin, sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, get your Disney movies right, pal.
crazy.
That is funny. Okay, so we'll be on the watch for that when some trailers come out. But I do think that one's going to be critiqued pretty heavy because Michael Jackson, of course, is the star of all stars.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to be paying attention to like what's correct and not correct because he's one of those stars. We know a lot about his life already.
Yeah.
So I think some of these biopics sometimes are like educational for us, like
For sure.
the Whitney one, even the Robbie Williams one that just came out, if you're not a huge fan. But Michael, it feels like we all know so much about him already.
Yeah.
So watching it is going to be a whole different experience just because of that.
Definitely gonna watch that for sure.
100%.
I actually saw Michael last year when I went to Vegas. There was like 4 of them. Yeah.
No way. I saw one down when I was in Dominican one year. I guess he travels.
4 of them is crazy.
Yeah, only one.
Oh, don't kill me. Episode 68 of the Mayor's Office podcast. We are happy to be back. 2025 is going to be good to us. We got more live shows, more events, more guests, more content. So look out for all that content.
Mm-hmm.
And you already know how we close the podcast. We have our animation suggestions, our non-rap suggestions, and then a quick creator showcase for the people. I'm just going to go through this really fast, man. I went on Netflix. After I was done with Monday Night Raw, I had to watch some anime. I had to cleanse my spirit.
Yep.
And there was an anime that it's always on my feed, but I never actually clicked it. And it's called Cyberpunk Edge Runners. 10 episodes of glorious animation, music. The writing is fantastic. And I just fell in love with the 2 main characters, David and Lucy. So if you guys have ever played the game Cyberpunk 2077, Cyberpunk Edge Runners is of the same story. It came out. The story of that was a year prior to the video game. So Cyberpunk Edge Runners on Netflix. You guys go check that out.
Shows based off of video games are having a good run right now.
Way better than when we were growing up.
Yeah. Huge run right now. I think also it's just kind of as the stories got better at video games, I feel like bringing them to TV made a lot more sense.
Yes.
But I'm not mad at that suggestion. I like what you have here for non-rap. I listened to this earlier. I was like, it's the same song that I'm thinking of. I like the suggestion you got for non-rap.
I appreciate that. So I guess I can just go first.
Yeah.
So I have a song by The Strokes. Hey, get your mind out the gutter. I got a song by The Strokes. It's called The Adults Are Talking. I like to, before we get this episode going, I really want to like cleanse my playlist. So I was going through different songs. I listened to some songs from The Strokes, but not this one in particular. Crazy Enough is one of their bigger songs. Give it a listen. Love it.
I actually have a song on here that was going to be my non-rap suggestion that Chris mentioned a little while ago, One Last Breath by Creed. I recently saved it because I went back to it because I was listening to Higher.
Classic.
So I was
Great
like...
karaoke song, too.
A great karaoke song. But the one I have saved under this song is a song that I was playing in the gym on repeat on the treadmill. It's Not Over by Daughtry. I can't tell you the last time Daughtry has even been mentioned on the internet, at least on my algorithm. And absolute banger. It was great for the gym. I was running on the treadmill to this as well. Daughtry is low-key like Nickelback 2.0. In a way, like maybe it was a little different sound, but very Nickelback-esque. But Daughtry, It's Not Over. If you guys hear that song, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm off the bump and I'm not familiar.
You when you hear it, you'll know it. You've
it's one of those ones.
Yeah.
All right. No, fair. Actually, this one might go good on your gym playlist as well. I'm going in the direction of house music. The original song is called "The Days" by Crystal, but it's the Notion remix.
Okay.
The Notion remix of "The Days" by Crystal. I've seen, depending on your algorithm, I've seen it all over like the all over TikTok and Instagram of DJs playing the song out, and it's a banger. It's a good little house track, and definitely could go on the playlist for your gym.
Okay,
that's dope. Okay. That's what's up, Chris. Cool. So that's our non-rap suggestions for episode 68. I just want to close this episode with a creator showcase. I want to give these lovely ladies big shout outs. They actually ended up coming to our show.
Yeah.
They did a toy drive. They had a bunch of toys that were given to them for kids that needed them during the holiday season. So I want to give a big shout outs to the Social Butterfly. Big gunshots.
They're doing the Lord's work no matter what Lord you follow.
There you go. So big shout outs to these ladies. They are actually having an event on January 25th. It is a intention board party.
Oh, I saw that. That's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. I'm not gonna be there because I did my board without them, and it felt like it was more for the women, so I didn't want to, encroach on their event. But I like that idea for that event. Like, big shout out to them. Like, that's not an event you see very often.
Definitely.
And top of the year, everyone's doing their vision board, their intention board. You talked about your goals before we started, so it's just, if you're trying to get your goals together, this is definitely the event for that.
Yeah, for sure. You're trying to set your goals and just network with other like-minded individuals.
Yes.
I think connecting with these ladies would be a great option. So I'll definitely tag them in this post. But yeah, I wanted to give a big shout outs to the Social Butterfly.
Yeah, and clearly they had their heads on straight because they were at the live show. So they clearly have good taste.
Good taste.
Dressed to impress too.
Yeah. They were well dressed for sure. I definitely noticed that. Before we get out of here, I want to say thank you one more time to everyone who came to the live show. We appreciate you guys rocking with us. 2025, we have big things coming. A lot of different things in 2025. So it's going to be, I think, the biggest year for this pod. I'm speaking that into existence right now. We already see it coming. I'm excited for everyone who's following with us. Excited for everyone who's been rocking with us since the beginning. We see you, we recognize you, and we love it. Make sure you follow us on the interwebs. And of course, until next time, know yourself, know your worth.